Many small business owners believe that if an employee quits or gets fired, that there's 3 more people right behind them to take their place. But that's not always true. Have you fired an employee recently and you've regretted your decision? Has one of your employees quit on you and you really didn't want to lose that person? Or do you have a real strong team now and you want to keep it that way? Listen, if you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur, pay attention to this video because I'm going to share with you the one action you must take before firing an employee. And I'll tell you, it involves that whiteboard back there. Hi, I'm Theresa Prim and I am the Thankful to Be in Business coach. And I help enthusiastic small business owners and service professionals like you find simplicity in order to crush their goals, make more money, and clock out early. Okay, we don't usually clock out in small businesses, but if we could, we would. So subscribe to my channel and hit the bell. That way, you know when I show up to help you. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS.gov, there are currently 6.5 million people who are unemployed in the United States right now. The unemployment rate is currently sitting right about 4%. But that's a lot of unemployed people. And in the past, small business owners haven't had any trouble replacing an employee if they've had to let one go. But currently, it has been very difficult for them to find quality work. Listen, what makes an employee do something worth firing them for may mean they are capable of doing something worth keeping them for. It is your duty as a small business leader to find out what that thing is. I remember back in 2014 when I had to fire an employee. She was my only employee at the time and she worked 25 hours a week. So that means that I had to put that 25 hours a week on top of the 45 hours I was already working. And I was physically and mentally exhausted. Have you ever been in this situation? It was painful. But thank God that it only took 7 weeks for me to find her replacement. But listen, I think I felt regret. And I think there were moments when I thought twice about if I did the right thing or not. If I would have known about this one simple strategy that I'm going to show you today, it may have changed things for me. SWOT analysis was first created somewhere right around the 1960s. It was finally put in place right around 1973. It's a tool that stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It analyzes a project or business venture by focusing on these individual factors. But this simple business tool, used by big companies and many organizations, can be used for anything in life and business today. It's a simple tool, and I'm going to help you apply it to the hard decision you may have to make of whether or not to fire an employee. Okay, here is your simple business tool for today, the SWOT analysis to determine whether or not you're going to let your next employee go. Now listen, the idea here is to pull out the weaknesses that your employee has and leverage them with the strengths the employee has and the strengths that the company has. So go ahead and draw a 2x2 matrix on a piece of paper on your whiteboard and label that matrix with strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and then threats. And the threats we're not necessarily going to deal with today because that doesn't have anything to do with hiring or firing employees. So in the strengths column, you want to ask yourself questions about the employee. Like what does this person do well? How have they been an asset to my business thus far? What would others say about them? What talents do they have? What qualities did you see in them when you hired them? And then in the weaknesses section, what has been problematic for them? What are their character weaknesses? What might others say about them? And what would they say their weaknesses are? And then when you get down to the opportunities, this is where you look at your company. Okay, you say, what's missing in my company? What's going on locally that I can capitalize on? What ideas have I had in my mind for expansion in the company? What have I thought about? And what haven't I thought about? And what is good about my company? And so the idea here is that you want to look for gaps. You want to find out if there are any strengths that the employee has that you can then capitalize on in your company. For instance, if the employee is really well around customers and clients, but not so well around other employees, then maybe you want to move the employee to another area, like in customer service or at the front desk or something like that. Whoa, that was fun. Thank you for joining me for that. Listen, one of the biggest searches on the internet right now, and I'm sad to say, but it's how to quit my job. When you have a good employee, it is worth taking the time and effort to do this simple SWOT strategy tool for your business, because you're going to be real surprised as to what you uncover. What makes an employee do something worth firing them for may mean that they are capable of doing something worth keeping them for. Bye for now. Theresa Prim, the Thankful Business Coach, and I'm so happy to serve you today. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.